Right, so we will go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about meditation. Jenna is one of my students. She studied with me a couple years ago and became a certified yoga teacher and has since moved on to meditation. And it's definitely her avenue. And I've been trying to get her involved in some of the programs I'm doing because I think she does such a great job with it and it comes so naturally to her, as does teaching. So it's nice to have her as a part of my moving on into when shift happens. And we would love to have you guys a part of what's coming up. We've got a whole bunch of lectures and workshops coming up this fall and into the winter. And we're super excited. I'll be adding some more. I think I'm going to add some more Saturday events also, because there's a couple topics in fertility and menopause that I didn't get into the next 2 months that I really want to get in before the new year. So as for that, I've been practicing meditation for probably, I don't know, 20 years maybe, various types, with people, without people, with audio, without audio. And it's not my specialty, but I definitely rely on it for a lot of my stress management and my evolution forward and my getting over a lot of things that have happened in my life. But I'm kind of the pranayama queen. That's more my avenue. So next Monday we'll be talking about pranayama. So I'll hand it over to Jenna.
Hello, everybody. Yep, I'm Jenna, and my story about meditation is very similar to Kamie. It's just a lot shorter. I've been practicing for about 2 years when I started taking Kamie's teacher training program. So her focus was a lot on meditation and kind of that aspect of it. And so I got my start there, and like her, I went from guided meditations to walking meditations to completely silent meditations, all of that. So I wanted to learn more about meditation. That's why I went through the training and all of that. So, and I'm very happy to share it with everybody, and because I do believe it is the best stress management that we can do, along, of course, with pranayama and the physical practice of yoga. So it's always nice to kind of get a refresher of meditation, no matter how long you've been practicing. So meditation is a journey. So once you start this journey, you'll be able to enjoy the many rewards of it. And it's not a selfish activity. Many people think that taking care of yourself and just giving yourself a moment to think and breathe is a waste of time. It isn't. You'll be able to live a happier life and be able to help others around you more than you would be if you were stressed out inside of yourself. So the two major forms is sitting meditation and then a walking or informal meditation. So the formal meditation is the silent or the guided. So it's where you're still. It's where it's just kind of you and your thoughts. Whereas the informal practices are going to be more of the mindfulness activities. So the physical practice of yoga, walking meditations. A lot of people go for runs when they meditate, which would be an informal practice, and then like painting, drawing, all of that kind of thing that you would do just by yourself in a mindful activity, but it was not the formal practice of meditation. Still very beneficial, just not the formal practice. So the goal is to kind of live that daily life mindfulness. So if you can live the rest of your life in that informal meditated state, that is said to be the way to get to samadhi, which is the all enlightenedness. But in today's society, that is very, very difficult. So you just find the time and the activities to do to bring yourself to that area of your mind and your life. So the easiest thing to focus on while meditating is your breath. It's the one thing that we cannot live without. It's always there. You have to constantly be breathing to live. And so it's the easiest pinpoint spot to be able to just follow each inhale and each exhale. Some other things that you can focus on is like a candle, which would be candle gazing, have a slight gaze at a candle, or at the morning sun in the morning. It's that light will be very beneficial. It's not too harsh on you yet. So there's definitely some different pinpoints that you can use to be able to have something that isn't your breath, but you always want to have that single pointed focus. So how to meditate? We'll kind of talk about how to get started. always think about quality is better than quantity. So if you can get done with 5 minutes of very good, solid meditation where you're able to have focus on your breath, that is better than doing 15 minutes of meditation that you're constantly being scattered. And I'm not saying that you should just limit yourself to that 5 minutes, but I am saying that if that's all that you can do and that's all you can handle that day, perfectly fine. You don't need to push yourself and make yourself completely uncomfortable. Do push yourself to the point of being like, okay, this is where I'm at. This is kind of my point of being able to not sit any longer. But don't make yourself so worried about the time that you completely lose focus on the practice itself. The early morning is considered the best time to meditate. It's the time when the world is quietest. It's the time of day that we're able to be closest to the universe, God, divinity, whatever your spirituality practice is. But that is the time that is considered the best. The next best time would be the evening time. So right before you go to bed, meditation is a great way to calm your mind and calm your breathing down to be able to relax enough to get good sleep. But whenever you try to practice, try to do it at the same time every single day. That's just kind of the best way to do it. No matter if it's morning or night or somewhere in the afternoon, just make sure try to do it the same time each time you do it. And the more regularly you practice, the easier the practice will come. So you'll be able to see benefits quicker. You'll be able to focus in on your breath a lot quicker if you can do it more often. And in your environment, try to use the space only for meditation. That being said, not everyone has the ability to have a separate room for their meditation practice, which is totally fine. Just have a spot where you know that is where you'll practice. So you're not trying to search for a different spot every single time. Try to have all of your belongings together that you would use for your practice, like a chair, a cushion, a blanket, a journal, a devotion book of some sort, if that's your thing. And have it someplace where you can easily pull it out. So you don't want to have to be searching and try to gather all these things just to practice. You want to be able to just put it out, place it somewhere. And if you do it in the morning, it's really nice to have everything set up for you at night. So all you have to do is get out of bed and then go to your practice. That's the best part of it. And try to make the space as inviting as possible. So if you are able to have your own space for it where it is solely just a meditation spot, you can put pictures up that is positive. You can have flowers that stay in that spot. And kind of the same thing if you don't have it. So if you're in your living room looking out a window and that's your meditation spot, just try to not have it to be too much clutter. Cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. So you want to be able to have that space be clear and inviting so you can invite good energy into your body and into your mind. Your posture. The most important thing is to keep a nice straight spine. And if this means that you can't sit on the floor yet, sit in a chair with your feet uncrossed and then gently resting on the back. You don't want to put all of your weight into it unless you are working on core strength. But really anything that you can keep a nice relaxed position. So you don't want to be super tied up and all of that, but you want to be able to relax. And so if that means resting your back on a chair, you can do that and then slowly start to work your way into not having anything touch your spine. If you're sitting on a bolster or a cushion, you can also rest your back against the wall to start and then slowly work your way up to not having that support in the back. You want to make sure you're relaxed but not sleepy. So you want to be able to, once again, have that nice straight spine just to kind of keep you awake. If you have the tendency to fall asleep, if you close your eyes, definitely do not lay down then. You will fall asleep. So if you can keep that nice straight spine and just have a little bit of energy and lift to yourself, that would be better than just completely resting on something else. You want to stay grounded as much as possible. So whether that be if you're in a chair, make sure all four corners of both feet can touch the earth. So if you're sitting on a cushion, make sure you can get your tailbone real nice in there on your cushion or your bolster and all of that. Your clothing should be comfortable but not super tight. You want to be able to allow your belly to expand with each inhale and deflate with each exhale as you practice. So your breathing should be as normal as possible unless you want to go into more of the pranayama practices, which is the practice of breathing, which Kamie will talk about next week. But just to start out, just a nice normal breath, follow each inhale and follow each exhale out. Be aware of your breath. Be aware if it's short or shallow, long or deep. Notice if you're breathing in your chest or in your belly. Just be aware of your breath and how you're breathing, because often if your breath is the most relaxed during meditation. So if you're breathing very short, rapid breaths during meditation, it's only going to get quicker if you're in the outside world. And we want to try to keep a nice breath as much as possible in our lives. So distractions and thoughts, they will come, they will always come, they'll always be there. So when you have that distraction or you have that constant train of thought coming in through your head, just try to just let it go. I used the example this morning in my class of, it's like clouds. Thoughts are gonna come in, but you're gonna notice them. And as soon as you notice them, the thought automatically changed. So just let it go. Nothing is permanent, no thoughts, emotions, or anything are permanent. So just let everything go. So the aids to meditation are pretty great. You could do incense, aromatherapy, gentle music, flowers, mantras, anything inviting that you want to keep in that space to just allow yourself to be in that space. You want to be able to create a space that works for you and is inviting, because you don't want to, well, one thing, you're not going to want to practice in a place that gives you a cluttered energy feeling. So most of us find it hard to deal with these feelings that will come up during meditation, and know that the biggest part of meditation is loving kindness. So you want to treat each thought that comes in with loving kindness. It is a practice. You're not going to be perfect every single day. It's probably going to be pretty difficult for you to start practicing every single day, but give yourself the opportunity to adjust to having a practice in your life. So if you do it every other day to start, that is fantastic. If you only do it for 5 minutes every single day, that's fantastic. Just try to start that practice and love yourself and give yourself kindness to whatever that may be. And it's very important to keep a community. So follow along with us. We have a couple of different Facebook groups that you can all join, and we can give you that information, but always try to keep like-minded people around. You'll be able to keep up with your practice a lot more. We'll be able to encourage you to keep practicing and giving you different ideas. And it also creates just a zone of safety. It is very common right now that meditation isn't huge yet. It's definitely getting bigger, but not everybody considers it a self-care practice yet. And it definitely is. And so this will just be able to give you that little zone of safety as meditation grows and all of that. All right, I think that is all I have for everybody. Are there any questions?
Okay. Jenna, I do have a question.
Yeah.
So how does your meditation practice go? How do you incorporate it into your day, into your life, whatever that may look like?
Yeah, I do it right away when I wake up. So I drink my lemon water, of course, but it's the first thing that I do. And I try to at least get 5 minutes in. My usual thing is 15, but recently I've been in the process of getting a house and selling mine. So my life is a little bit more chaotic right now. So I definitely try to do longer, but 5 minutes is really all I've been able to get in. And I use the Insight Timer app. It's very easy to just set a timer and have it go without me trying to mess around with my phone too much. So, but 15 minutes has always been kind of my steady good pace where I can feel very energetic afterwards.
Okay. Do you practice, do you do any movement before, or do you do your movement after, if you do asana or if you go out for a walk?
Yeah, I do it after now. I don't know if I'm just getting better sleep recently, but I used to do my physical practice before, but just because I couldn't stay awake during my meditation. But now it's the opposite. I can stay awake better during my asana practice. I don't yawn as much during that as I do. I'm a big yawner. Kamie knows that. So yeah, so I actually do my seated meditation first. Danette, you asked what app do I use? It is the Insight Timer. So it's a white screen with a little gold bowl on it. I don't know if we could get it clear enough on camera for you, but it's that one, right? Right there. Yeah, and then you just open it up. And they have they have amazing guided meditations. I personally just don't do guided meditations, but they have a whole bunch of different options for you to choose. And then you can also do the timer. And you can choose through all these different sounds to bring you in and bring you out. So it's the best app that I found, and I found a couple of them, but that one's the best. And Kamie pointed that one out to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been recommending that app for probably about 20 years. So it's been around for a long time, and they
Wow.
did a lot of upgrades on it. When I started out, it was super simple, and now you can accommodate it. You can put bells throughout. So if you do pranayama practice, and then you do a asana practice, and then you do seated meditation or whatever your goals may be, you can set it up according to that. So yeah, it's a really great app. I recommend it for everybody. There's a free version and then there's a paid version. I think the paid version is like $4 one time. I don't think there's any
Yeah.
extra fees on top of that unless they've changed it. But yeah.
Yeah. I
All
didn't know it
right.
was around
So
for that long. Wow.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So thank you for joining. We're going to cut off the recording now. So you can go ahead and ask any questions that you have. So if you want to turn on your microphone and ask Jenna a question, or you can put it in the chat box, or you can ask me questions. But when Jenna was talking about how meditation, she's shifted her meditation, likely it's because she's gotten more used to it, got settled in it. Her mind frame has changed a little bit around it. It's not as hard to practice. I've always been one where I meditate first and then I go out and do my other activities, or I teach my yoga class or whatever. But a lot of times it depends on your constitution. So in Ayurveda, we look at the constitution as having a major influence on whether you should move first or you should sit first. So some of us that are more pitta and vata, we can sit first because we tend to be very alert and awake in the morning. And if your constitution is more kapha, you're going to find that you're going to want to be able to move your body and get the kapha moving out before you sit still, otherwise you'll fall asleep. But the other constitution could fall asleep during meditation also.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So if you have any questions. We should have a buzzer that sounds like a cricket.
I know.
Yeah. So Jen and I have a bunch of stuff coming up over the next couple months. On Wednesday, I've got a class on why we should follow a clock and a routine and what that means in our life. We're working towards some big winter programs. These programs are going to incorporate meditation, which Jenna will be teaching, and then all of our yoga classes will be incorporated in that, along with focusing on fertility, PMS or irregular menstrual cycles, and then menopause. So Jenna's going to be focusing a little more on the weight loss or weight management end of it. And these programs will be kind of intertwined together because a lot of the topics overlap. And our major focus in the winter will be sleep and why sleep is important. And even though some of us think we're sleeping really well, if you don't wake up refreshed in the morning, you're likely not sleeping all that well at all. So we'll be talking more about these topics throughout the next couple of months. Whether you went through Northeast Wellness or you found us through When Shift Happens, they have the schedule. The schedule is also on our website, whenShiftHappens.org. We have a couple Facebook pages. We have the When Shift Happens, Synergize When Shift Happens page, which is an open page. I've got a couple closed pages, which is Well Nourished Woman, Community, and Optimal Wellness. That would be my private page. So you have to ask to be in it, and then I will let you in it. I'd love to have you in. We were working on our community and being able to grow our community so that we can have stuff like this and really bounce ideas and be able to inform you guys about how to grow your practice and to be able to build community even though we could go under lockdown in the next month or two. You just never know. So how can we create community with these groups and with these programs? So Jen and I are super excited about what's coming up this winter, but we're really focusing hard on the things that'll be coming over the next few weeks. So this week is routines. So Wednesday routines. Monday is pranayama, and then Wednesday we're bringing in one of our friends, Teresa, and she's going to talk about a breathing technique that she teaches. And the following week is on breast health. So Monday and Wednesday is on breast health and practices and what it means and what your hormones do. And I'm bringing in one of my friends, Charlie Bammert, and he's going to talk about, or Dr. Charlie Bammert, he's going to talk about breast health and what that means from his perspective. I'm going to talk from the Ayurvedic perspective because that's my field of practice. So if you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and ask.